Welcome to the latest episode of the Work Hard, Playlist Hard podcast. Today we're going to be talking about uploading your once illegal bootlegs and remixes and getting them onto streaming services. Now, in the past, as we would all know, SoundCloud was the number one platform for uploading music, whether it was your original composition or whether it was, in fact, a somewhat illegal remix, also known as a bootleg of a well-known song. So for those of you that don't know what a bootleg is, you're essentially taking elements of a composition or a song that's already been released and cutting that up and turning it into your own sort of remix of that works. So one example could be you like the latest Justin Bieber song, you rip the a cappella or the vocals out of that song and you steal some other elements, maybe the guitar and some other stems, and then you piece that amongst your own production. Maybe you put in some new drums and you release that, and that is a bootleg. Unless his record label approach you and say, we want this remix, we want to put it out, sign this piece of paper, it's illegal. It's a bootleg. Now, you're not really going to get in any trouble because you're not trying to sell it. But as you know, SoundCloud are ripping them down like crazy. So you've got no chance of having a Justin Bieber bootleg on SoundCloud anytime soon. Fortunately, there is a website called MixBank.com, which is by Dubset Media. Now, MixBank.com is not necessarily new, but they have been really, I'm trying to think of the right word here. They've been going forward in leaps and bounds recently. So it was a bit of a slow start. Essentially, MixBank allows you to upload those once illegal bootlegs and remixes, get them cleared, and get them put out onto streaming services, including Apple Music and Spotify. So what MixBank will do is you simply sign up for free, you upload your remix, your bootleg, or original track featuring samples that haven't been cleared, upload that to the site. MixBank will then reach out to the record labels, the publishers, the original artists, whoever they need to make sure everything gets cleared. It will then be uploaded and it will appear on Apple Music and Spotify, all going well. And the best part is you will actually get a small chunk of any income from the streaming. So instead of just putting these out and potentially, making a name for yourself with your bootleg, you could also put these out. And if they're highly successful, you could make a little bit of income as well. And the best part is, of course, the original artist, their label, their publisher, whoever's name it's tied to, they're going to get the larger chunk of that money as well. I'm not quite sure on the split. I think it's roughly 70% goes back to the artist, label, publisher, and the remainder goes to you for doing the bootleg or the remix. Now, the other thing that you can do with MixBank is you can upload a full-length DJ mix, which is really cool, especially if you're an artist yourself or a producer, because you can actually include your own original productions in that mix, make a little bit of money back from that, as well as making some money for doing the mix. And all artists involved are going to be happy with you having this mix because they're actually getting paid for it. And so once again, this would work the same way. You would upload the full-length mix. MixBank would go back and make sure all the tracks are cleared and the relevant people will get paid. And then the mix goes online. So just recently this week, Apple Music announced a series of mixes from artists including Steve Aoki, for example. And these mixes were actually pushed out by MixBank. And so they were cleared and they're now on there. They've got some great looking artwork. And all of a sudden you're listening to DJ mixes on streaming services and the artists are getting a little bit of money out of that as well. So it's exciting times right now. I would encourage you to go to mixbank.com, sign up for free, upload some of those old remixes and bootlegs that you've got, dust them off, maybe even give them a fresh master, fresh mix down and master, and then put them up there and see what happens. To give you an idea, I've uploaded 10 remixes, bootlegs that I've done in my time. And 2 of those have already been cleared and been added to Apple Music. Now, I'm not going to tell you which ones they are because I don't believe in shamelessly self-promoting myself, or at least not every single episode of this podcast. So if you want to know what music I've put out, you can get in touch on Twitter at WHPH Playlists. I always struggle saying that. WHPH Playlists on Twitter, or facebook.com/workhardplaylisthard. Now, lastly, if you would like to read some blog posts, there's some great blog posts up online on workhardplaylisthard.com, as well as a submission form. So if you're an artist and you want to submit your music for consideration for Work Hard Playlist Hard playlists, there's the option to submit your music right there on the website. So once again, workhardplaylisthard.com. That's all you really need to know. There'll be notes for this episode and other episodes of the podcast online. And please give any feedback on how you feel about this. The whole podcast thing is still very new to me, so I'm still finding my feet, working out how long I can talk for before you lose interest, and just making sure not to say anything too crazy. I couldn't even think of the word. All right, time to wrap it up. Till next time, keep creating, keep sharing, keep learning, and stay awesome.